All right, folks. It's your buddy Mike Messier here once again. This is Friday, March 22nd, 322. Interesting day. I guess yesterday was even more interesting. It was 321. Should you go see the Immaculate? It's just Immaculate. It's not the Immaculate. Should you see Immaculate? Should you not? If you're a horror fan, I say, yeah, go see it. I think most horror fans would like this one. If you're not a horror fan, I would say probably don't go see it. It has a lot of elements that non-horror fans don't like. Blood, guts, body parts. I mean, the thing that gets me with horror films, I say this a lot: ankles getting slashed, fingers getting bent, eyes. This one has a new one for me: a fingernail getting ripped off. Oh God! So I do have to close my eyes a few times. People, if someone gets shot in the chest, I'm all for it. Or if a monster comes, I'm all for it. But that thing where like body manipulations, I don't like that stuff. But in any event, if you're a horror fan, yeah, go see it. If you're not a horror fan, and also I'll make this paradigm for you, if you are a Catholic, you probably shouldn't see this movie, because if you are a person who has a strong Catholic faith, especially, or if you're really a religious person and you take your religion seriously, I probably, meaning a Christian religion, I would probably skip this one. You're probably going to be offended, and you probably get all upset, and then you want to hashtag somebody or bemoan Hollywood or whatever the fuck you want to do. So only if you're a horror lover, probably see this one. And I guess the other niche or fetish out there, which is growing in popularity, is the lady behind me here, the image, Sydney Sweeney, is basically the star and one of the producers of this movie. And, I think it was good for a horror film. Actually, it was better than I thought it would be. I thought the movie, what I thought going into it, not really seeing a whole lot about it, I thought it would be just another, like, bad things happen in the house of God type of horror movie. But there's actually more to it. And spoilers be damned, folks. Some spoilers coming up. Let's talk about it. So I thought the movie was interesting because the concept of this kind of cult-like church in Italy. Italy is one of these. No offense to my Italian friends, I think I have one legitimate, like, Italian friend in my life. I have many Italian American friends, but a person who's actually from Italy. One guy that I know in my life, nice guy. But Italians, in my opinion, are kind of like one of those countries that think they're better than everybody else. You know what I mean? Like the old country and all that good stuff. I think Italians, and fine, go right ahead. Maybe it's great. I don't know. I've never been there, but Italian people typically do look down upon the rest of us, and that's fine. But I mean, they're in Italy. It's this. What do you call a nunship? A nunnery. Get thee to a nunnery. It's a house of nuns, and it's and then this young in this review here, it says doe-eyed Sydney Sweeney nun. She's getting kind of a tinge sexually harassed by like the foreign embassies or the people that are signing her into the country. They're saying, in Italian, what a waste, look at that body, type of thing, that they're looking at her. And then she gets in there, and it is kind of one of those things because, by all accounts, Sydney Sweeney, any character she plays is going to basically be an attractive female because she's very attractive. And so we do kind of wonder, what is she doing here? What is this, bombshell blonde doing becoming a nun? And she does give a kind of a little bit of a story there, but it seems like there could have been more. There could have been more of the moment before. What brought this character, Cecilia, into the nunhood? What inspired her to do this? It felt like that might have deserved 5 minutes of our time. Like I could have invested 5 minutes into the movie to see, even if it was like a traumatic situation or some type of life-changing situation where Sister Cecilia just, she's inspired to become a nun. I think that might have added to the gravitas of the proceedings. But we don't get that. Instead, we just, kind of throw her in the mix. And then we find out as this film's going along that really what's going on here with this Italian church, this cult type of deal, is that they're basically looking for a breeder for the resurrection of Christ. And how would they pull that off, you might be asking? Well, basically, this church has acquired one of those nasty spikes that were put in the feet of Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? The Lord and Savior. They have one of the spikes that was put in his feet, for God's sakes, or for his sake. And they have it in their possession. And apparently, as we find out later in the film, they've taken off flakes of human DNA from the spike, and they've been able to, for the last 20 years, through trial and error, they're trying to manifest a baby from the genetics. But what they need for their, splicing of the Messiah, they need a woman to carry the baby. So that's where enter Sister Cecilia, because for whatever reason, she's the chosen one. Maybe they feel that there's a backstory there where she, as a 12-year-old child, was caught under ice, and she died for 7 minutes, but then she survived the traumatic incident. We do see a little flashback to that, but not much. And so they feel that she's got a strong system, like her body or her soul or her spirit is strong, so that she can survive giving birth to this manufactured Messiah, let's call it. So it's a good concept for a horror film. There was another horror film less than a year ago that I saw. I'm trying to remember the name of it or who was in it, but it was something like the woman was trying to keep her kid alive through some types of wings. My buddy there in Chicago, Carl, is checking in. Hi, Carl Kate. Carl's got an interesting YouTube channel as well, and we've done some cross promotion. We've talked about different Western films and horror films and so forth. How you doing tonight, Carl? Good to see you. I'm doing fine, buddy. I just did a review on Ghostbusters, which I didn't like. This movie, Immaculate, I actually do like. So I know you're a horror film guy, Carl. You probably want to see this one. Let me go back to the movie review. I like this movie because it has a storyline. The storyline is pretty, I wouldn't say it's totally unique, but it's pretty unique in this, let's manufacture a Christ type of thing. Interestingly enough, a friend of mine wrote a screenplay somewhere in the ballpark of this type of story like 25 years ago. Unfortunately, his movie has not been made, but it's one of those deals where you have to if you have a great idea for a movie, folks, you kind of have to make your movie pretty quick, because it's not that people are stealing your ideas. It's that eventually someone else is going to have a similar idea than you had. And I've experienced that myself, So for people that bitch and complain that there's no good movies out there, well, you try making one, I guess was what I would say. But anyway, going back to this Immaculate movie, there is kind of this, throughout the whole proceedings, there's this type of creepiness. I did see Reinfeld, and I don't think I like that one either, Carl. I did see that with our buddy there. What's his dick? Nicolas Cage. I did give that one a Mike's Instant Movie Review. It's somewhere on this channel. One Mike Messier. I did review that one with our buddy Nicolas Cage because I remember seeing it. That was that a year ago? A year and a half? That's been a while, buddy. Because Nicolas Cage, like Michael Keaton, is having a big comeback. I just saw that there is a new teaser for the new Beetlejuice movie coming out later this year, I guess. It does actually look pretty good. If you've seen the teaser for this Beetlejuice thing, there is a funeral scene in the teaser, and people are wondering, well, who are they burying? I'm thinking that they're burying Rooney from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, because I believe, didn't he play Catherine O'Hara's husband in the first Beetlejuice movie? So he would be a perfect carry to bury, because he kind of buried his own career through some shenanigans that we won't discuss here. But anyway, I am looking forward to that Beetlejuice sequel. Michael Keaton, I just saw him a few days ago in another movie, Knox Goes Away, which I gave that a pretty good review. This one, Immaculate, I'm giving a pretty good review. I'm thinking it's a 3.5. For a horror film, I think it was strong. I think, Sydney Sweeney, I think, is a good actress. I think she's smart in the way that she does things. She knows that her physical beauty is part of her attributes. In this, as a nun, she doesn't really play that up, but there are some moments there where her looks are kind of coming into the story, and I think she handles herself pretty well in her career. I did like that romantic comedy she did a few months ago, Anyone But You, which I thought was decent. So I think she's good. Is she Meryl Streep? No, but she's fine. She's good. So I think this movie was a really good fit for her. The other nuns were also interesting. I mean, let's face it, folks. There is something kind of creepy about nuns. I mean, yes, if I were to see a nun in real life, I'd be very respectful, bow or whatever you do to a nun. But I mean, I think if we're being really honest, there is something inherently creepy about nuns and priests and all these people. It's just a little bit off. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we get it, but we don't. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you're wearing the suit, you're getting the tax credit or the tax benefit or whatever the fuck. But I mean, can we really trust you with us, with our children? I don't know. You know what I mean? So, what else? Carl saw the trailer of Alien Romulus. I didn't see that one, buddy. That sounds interesting. But you know what? Maybe the title. I like the alien word, Romulus. I mean, half the audience is not going to know what that fucking word means, to tell you the truth, Carl. But let's look it up. What is this alien Romulus crap? Let me look into it. I'm going to investigate. Alien Romulus. What's a Romulus? Sci-fi horror series might finally get another great sequel. I guess. No, wait a minute. Is this in the Sigourney Weaver realm of these alien? This is that? Is this in the Sigourney Weaver alien? Is she even in this thing, buddy? Oh my god. So it is. It's man, oh man. I don't know what to say. I don't know if we need this. I remember it was a while ago, maybe 98, 97, that there was another, like an alien movie with Winona Ryder before she had her comeback, like in her original career. Winona did a movie with Sigourney Weaver. I don't think I ever saw it, but I do recall that happened. I don't know, man. I mean, will I see it? I probably will, but I think it might be another one of those things where I'll go kind of with a chip on my shoulder. Like I said, if you saw my Ghostbusters review just minutes ago, there's these things with these like 30-year-old gaps in sequels. I think Top Gun Maverick pulled it off. I think Beetlejuice looks like that has a good chance to pull it off. I think some of these movies with like really long sequel, gaps. It's an interesting concept. I guess you could say Creed, whenever like the Creed movies started, was that 2016 perhaps? I think the Creed movies, there was a pretty big gap from 2016. When was the prior Rocky Balboa movie? Was that 2009 or 2010? And before that, 1990 with Rocky 5. So you can pull this stuff off. And I think Carl and I are in congruence here. Yes, Beetlejuice 2 does look good. I think it looks good as well. I mean, you have Winona Ryder, Jen Ortega. I mean, that's smart to go to her. She's like the queen of horror now. I saw Elvira was Twitter fucking earlier, or trending, as they say, or Xing, whatever the hell they say. And that was exciting. But, I don't know, buddy. I mean, I don't know. But it's interesting when they have these like movies. One of the things I forgot to say about Ghostbusters, the one I saw tonight, The Frozen Empire, it's just so goddamn serious. It's taking itself so serious, just like Dune 2 did. Dune 2, I really didn't like as much as I thought I would, or as much as other people did. And this Frozen Empire thing, I don't think I really liked it much at all. You know what I mean? I don't like Paul Rudd. I'm sick of Paul Rudd. I'm sick of a lot of things. So that's it. If you have any other further thoughts, Carl's taking advantage of the fact that if you are actually on the YouTube channel here, fine folks, you can chime in, you can leave a comment. I'll see it in live time. If you happen to be watching on X or Facebook, and you might be getting frustrated because you're leaving all these wonderful comments and I'm not acknowledging you, okay, it's because I don't see the comments. I have to see them. You have to come over to the YouTube channel and actually push the subscribe button, which, guess what? It's actually free. So there's no excuse not to. What else can I say? So it's officially Friday, 1:43 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. One Mike Messier. I say, once again, if you're a horror fan, Immaculate. Is there anything else I can say about the movie? Like I said, a lot of blood, a lot of guts, a lot of violence. If you're not into that, don't skip this one. If you're a religious person, a Catholic especially, don't go see this. Don't get yourself upset. You won't like it. And there's nothing terribly enlightening in this movie or that's going to change your worldview. It's just a fucking movie. So I would say, like I said, you will get upset if you are a strong Catholic person. and so forth. But I thought, Sydney Sweeney did well. I thought the end of the movie, spoiler, was fine. It was fitting. It was appropriate. I don't think we need a sequel to this one. Could they do a sequel? Sure, they could. But it kind of feels like if there was an Immaculate 2, it would be with an actress that wasn't Sydney Sweeney. And it would be like one of those TOO sequels where just another person goes through the same song and dance that the first person did. What else can you do with the way they ended this movie? It's pretty much over. But I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was intense. Like I said, I have certain things that I won't want to see when I see a horror film. I know when they're coming. Small digit manipulation, add fingernails to the list now. I guess I have to add that to the list. Some pretty crazy shit happens in this movie. A pregnant woman is killing people. Like she's actually in the process of giving birth to this messianistic type of baby product, and she's killing people along the way. So I mean, it's pretty hardcore there. So girl power, hashtag, all that good stuff. That's it. It's your buddy Mike Messier, One Mike Messier YouTube channel. Go to MikeMessier.com. Buy all my books like Carl has. You can go and on my website, MikeMessier.com, you can find all my social medias, all my wonderful novels. My artwork is on one artist, Mike Messier. You can do all these things. This is things that you can do. Okay. So have a good fucking weekend, everyone. I'm sure I'll be doing more videos. This movie, I give it 2 thumbs up. Good job, Sydney.